last train from Chicago. A wino approached me in the lobby of Union Station and said he was a friend of John Madden. I was supposed to meet him here, he said. Our train for the coast leaves at 2:30. He looked anxiously down at his watch. Maybe he meant I should meet him on the train, he said. You think he's already aboard? Let's hope so, I said. The damn thing leaves in 12 minutes. I'll be lucky to make it myself. I was hauling a huge cart of baggage, not knowing which one of the many tunnels led out to the California Zephyr. And Maria had gone off in a funk with all the cash and also our tickets. Madden's friend was still ambling along beside me. I said, You're wearing a Raiders jacket. I see you're wearing a Raiders jacket, he said. So I thought you might have seen Johnny. Not yet, I said. And this is not a Raiders jacket. It's from the flight of Apollo 11. He leaned closer to examine the finely embroidered lettering on the shoulder patch of my NASA-style silver jacket. The Eagle has landed, he muttered. Yes, sir. I sure as hell remember that one. Are you the guy that walked on the moon? I nodded. Maria was nowhere in sight, and our train was pulling out in 9 minutes. From some gate that I didn't know and probably couldn't get through anyway, because I had no money or tickets. I eyed Madden's friend with new interest. I knew John in Oakland, I said. What gate are we leaving from? It's number 22, he said. We're late. Let me help you with those bags. He seized the front bar of my luggage cart, a thing about the size of 2 bathtubs, and proceeded to haul it through the crowd at top speed, shouting, Get out of the way! It's John Madden! I followed sheepishly in his wake, but convinced that he would almost certainly get us through Gate 22 and safely onto the train. He was, after all, on his way to the coast with Big John. There would be no misunderstanding at the gate. Tickets or no tickets. Our train left in 7 minutes. There was no time to check character references. Johnny will be in the club car, said the wino. We have a big suite in the back. But he always goes to the bar. I've traveled with him a lot. That's good, I thought. A wild-eyed man in a red uniform was bearing down on us. Get your hands off that cart, he shouted. That's Red Cap property. Let's have a look at your tickets. I smiled meaningfully at my buddy. He has them, I said. We're with John Madden. This is part of his luggage from the Super Bowl. The Amtrak man laughed. Don't mess with me, he snapped. Do you people have tickets or not? My own memory is vague, now, on the details of what happened next. It was all in a matter of seconds. My man looked wildly around him, then suddenly bent over and grabbed his stomach with both hands. Call Johnny, he moaned. I'm having another attack. Just then Maria arrived, waving a handful of tickets, and the Amtrak man reluctantly let us through. A real-life Red Cap suddenly materialized and took control of the luggage cart. Let's hurry it up, he ordered. Get a move on, folks. This train runs on time. We rushed down the platform in a confused babble and arrived at the big cave-like door to our sleeper, the last car on the train, with 30 seconds to spare. I heard whistles from up in front and a roar of steam vents underneath. The Zephyr was pulling out. Many hands lifted our luggage aboard, and within moments we were rolling at speed through the dead old industrial wasteland of what was once the main business district west of Wall Street. Riding the rails out of Chicago was a quick education in the socio-economic realities of recent American history. Miles of dead factories and warehouses, abandoned brick hulks, with boarded-up windows and signs like Sumac Meats and Adams Pressed Metal Corp. We were just settling into our deluxe bedroom compartment on car number 3530, adjusting the bunks and the shower head and the typewriter table by the big picture window, when I realized that we were, in fact, not alone. There was a ratty old suitcase in the room that I didn't recognize, and also another person. It was Madden's friend. He moved smoothly into the compartment and pulled the curtain closed behind him. Jesus Christ, man, he said, as he sat down on the end of the bunk. You sure as hell travel heavy. I thought we'd never get all this stuff aboard. Where's Johnny? I asked him. Don't worry, he said, lighting up one of my Dunhills. I'll find him. Just let me sit here for a minute. Or at least until they take up the tickets. I smacked him on the side of the head, and he suddenly went all to pieces. "Please," he blurted, "don't turn me in. I have to be in California by tomorrow, or they'll revoke my parole." He slumped on the bunk and began sobbing. "I'm sorry I lied to you," he moaned. "But I had to get out of town. They were after me. And besides, you looked like a Raiders fan. I thought you would be on my side." I shook my head sadly and reached into my Spanish leather kit bag, coming up with a small plastic tag from a long-ago conference of the National District Attorneys Association, which occurred in Las Vegas, Nevada, at the time of Richard Nixon. It said, "Thompson, Hunter, Los Angeles, CA." Underneath the name was a small 5-pointed lawman's badge with silver scales in the middle. The wino went instantly wild when I showed it to him. "You lying bastard," he screamed. "I knew there was something wrong with you. You're a cop. You were never a friend of John Madden. He wouldn't do this to me." Then he leaped sideways off the bunk and grabbed for my bottle of Chivas. A brief scuffle ensued. Then the steward, Frank Thompson, arrived with a rope. I had no choice. We had him taken off forcibly by railroad dicks in Naperville, still cursing me for betraying what he called the spirit of the Raiders. He was right, in a sense, and I felt vaguely unclean as the Zephyr rolled out, once again, toward Galesburg and Monmouth and the Mississippi River, which we would cross again on schedule around sundown, February 3rd, 1986.